It's one of those situations, you know, we kind of saw it with Strickland, like how he said, Izzy, you know, people are saying Izzy didn't show up. And he said he wasn't as tough as some of my worst sparring partners. And it's almost, you wonder, like, is there multiple people that could have just stepped in there with them how they were and won?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I
But
don't know.
that's just
But
that's the fight game, man.
right.
Any given night,
Right.
Sometimes a guy will have an off night and sometimes a guy will have the night of his life.
Yeah.
And that's the way it happens. Sean, I've seen Sean spar in the gym, man. The way he spars in the gym and the way he fights, like
it's identical.
It's identical.
Yeah,
like
he's
218.
And it's the same pace too.
It
he
is.
never goes too hard. Like you see him and he's like, he's not breathing hard. It's because he went 70% the whole time. He knows how to spar.
I think just Sean was firing on all cylinders.
Right.
Everything that he does well, he was doing well in that fight. Izzy maybe had an off night that night, but you know what? That's
part of it. Yeah.
Part of the game. Sometimes the whole training camp goes well and then you mess up the weight cut, or maybe the weight cut was great, but then you didn't get a good night's sleep the night before.
Right.
Maybe it could be a number of different factors why he didn't perform the way he should have.
Sure.
And you could have that argument. Oh, well, 9 times out of 10, Izzy wins that fight. Sean won that one.
He won one.
He won that one. He won.
And he dominated.
Yes, he did.
He dominated. It wasn't even close. And I would imagine he's probably going to dominate Dries Duplessis too.
I think so. I'm picking Sean to win that one.
Because and not necessarily because I think he's that much better of a fighter, but I think our coaches are probably way better.
Dude, yes.
Because if you can it doesn't matter how good of an athlete Francis is or how big he is, and people are dogging on Tyson Fury. Nobody else wanted to take that boxing match. You didn't hear Anthony Joshua speaking up before. If you can bring a guy that's 0-0 in boxing to, let's just say he beat him, to beat the best boxer. People were a day before, people said the best heavyweight ever.
Yeah.
You can't deny that we have the best coaches in the world.
Xtreme Couture. 100%, dude. I mean,
Eric and Dewey, I mean, they got to be the two best striking coaches in the entire planet.
I love Eric so damn much. That dude is like my big brother.
Okay.
Like he was Xtreme Couture member number 1. He was one of the first guys I met when I joined the gym a year later. We came up together as students, and then he got moved up to be the manager of the gym. He's the guy who brought me into the gym as a coach. He's the guy who vouched for me to become the assistant manager just a couple months ago. Watching this guy progress from when I first met him as a student to where he is now, and the progression and the maturity, just the mind this guy has for the sport, him taking his football background and being able to morph that into something that translates so well into MMA.
Yeah.
I am so damn proud of this guy. Like I could gush about him all day.
Right.
Like I love that dude. And I am so happy that he's having the success and getting the recognition that
that's the thing.
100% deserves.
That's the thing. They're talking about him and Dewey, more so him because he's the coach at Xtreme, like everywhere. Yeah. I mean, I heard Chael talk about it. I heard Rogan talk about it. I heard Michael Bisping, Brendan Schaub talk about it. It's like I'm sure his Instagram followers have gone up, way up since the Francis fight.
I haven't even checked. It's probably on par with like the gym's page, if not more.
Yeah. I think he had 25K before, and I would say he's probably close to 60. I don't know. I don't know what the number is, but doing very well.
Yep.
Because I've heard this criticism of Eric, but I've never given it because it's like people are winning fights at the highest level. So what does it matter? But it's that he never fought.
Okay.
What is your response to that? Because you know Eric a lot better than I do. I give the same response. It's like, I don't care. People are winning fights.
We're winning.
Yeah. And that's your only response.
Argue it all you want.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Eric never fought. He never trained. So how could he? Don't know, but he's doing it.
It's working. Do you think that it's better that way because you don't have the empathy that whereas an athlete would say, okay, don't do one more because I know how it feels. Whereas, no, I don't know how it feels. I don't care. What do you think? Because I've thought about that because I've seen some really high level football coaches that did not play very well themselves. I've seen high level wrestling coaches. Obviously, we're seeing a high level MMA coach, the best MMA coach. I think if he's not coach of the year, then it's
robbery.
It's a fake reward.
It's done at this point. Like, who else are you going to argue for?
No, it's like, Caitlyn Jenner, Vanity Fair Woman of the Year. Like, okay, Vanity Fair, you lost your credibility there.
No, Eric's like coach of the year is done, man. Like,
yeah.
Thank everyone who lost. Like, it's done.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
Yeah. So do you think that serves him better or worse, not having competed? Obviously, it's doing just fine.
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, he never competed. So
Right. We don't know.
we don't know what that would be like. It just, the result is what matters.
Right. And it's working.
We're winning. Like, we are one of the best gyms on the planet, one of the most consistently winningest championship teams on the planet.
Right.
And right now, in the last few years, that has been in large part, very large part, because of Eric.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
And
What-
you can argue about like, oh, he didn't do this and he's
Right.
not ranked and he doesn't have a black belt and he doesn't like.
Sure.
I don't care.
It's
We're
working.
winning.
Yeah.
The pay-per-views end, our guys get their hands raised, and those championship belts are walking into Xtreme Couture on Monday morning.
Yeah. Did he face that criticism early on?
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if you knew or
I'm
not.
sure he did. I don't
Yeah.
pay attention to it. Like,
Right.
I look at it the way that, like, you know, if a guy was talking crap about my brother. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about, dude. Like,
Right.
did you say this to him? No, then you shouldn't be saying it to me either.
Right.
Like, guys can give their criticism all they want. It's like, cool, let's see what happens on Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter what
It's
your
working.
opinion is at that
It's
point.
working,
'Cause
yeah.
it's working.
It's working. Yeah. No, I agree. I think Eric's the best coach in MMA.
He's awesome.
Does a great job. And he's got so many good guys around him. Like, he's not the type of person that gets prideful. Like, he lets random people come in the gym work. Like, there's other gyms in town that are represented at our practices, and Eric, lets them in, lets them come train. That's the thing I love about Couture is bring your best.
Yes.
Do what you want to do. If you want to come spar with our guys, come do it.
Yeah.
We don't care. We're not trying to hide anything. There's cameras in the gym a lot of times. It's not, obviously if somebody's doing a camp and they're working one thing, it's like, hey, can you turn it all around?
Sure.
But there's not like a no cameras in the gym. We can't let people know what we're doing. It's not a family recipe. It's like, we're going to beat your ass. Like, what?
Open book. We'll show you exactly what we're doing. And
Exactly.
We're going to go do it.
Come do our practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that Eric got from the old school days of the gym, because that's how Randy ran the gym.
Yeah.
If you were coming into work,
Team Quest. Yeah.
Eric's talked about this in interviews ad nauseum. The official logo for the gym when we first opened was check your ego at the door.
Right.
That is still the way that the gym operates.
Right.
If you're coming into work to be a good training partner, to offer something up to the team that helps the rest of us get better.
Yeah.
Come in, dude. Bring your best. Bring your gloves. Put your mouthpiece on. Let's get some rounds in. We'll talk about it afterwards. Everybody improves. Rising tide raises all ships, right?
Right.
Like, it's that whole idea.
I think it's way better that way than
I
trying to
think so,
keep things tight to the chest and, not letting guys come in for their camps and do all that stuff. I just don't see how not letting people in is better than letting people in.
Dude, you hear a lot of successful entrepreneurs in the last recent years. They talk about that idea of give away your best stuff for free.
Right.
Because one, it's just going to make the guys who are good be better.
Right.
And they're in turn going to return that back to you one way or the other. Again, rising tide raises all ships. Give your best stuff away for free because the majority of people aren't going to do it anyway.
Right.
We'll show you exactly how we run things, the way we run things, what we
Right.
show, what we teach. We will break it down to a T. If it's your first day in the gym, we're going to treat you like you've been there for years. You got a
Yeah.
question, we'll do our best to answer it and to help you become the best version of you that you can, with the expectation that you're going to come in the next day with the knowledge that we've given you,
Right.
apply it. So now we have to pick your brain. Hey, how were you able to have success with what you did?
Sure.
And now everybody's getting better.
Right.
If you're not going to use the information that we give you, cool. We're still going to do it anyway.
Right.
That's it, man. I think there's just more success in that model than trying to play everything close to the vest and thinking like you've got some kind of secret sauce that
Can't share with
you can't share with anybody else. If
Yeah.
if giving away your secrets is going to make you less effective at what you do, I really got to call into question, like, how good are you really?
Right.
The fact that Eric can give away so much knowledge all the time in every interview, every video, all
He's
his
happy to
posts,
do
like,
it.
he's happy to do it.
Right.
But the fact that he could do that and still have the success that he has,
Yeah.
I think is a testament to not just his skills as a coach,
Right.
but also his ability to understand the nuances of the game. I will tell you everything that we're doing, but then I'm going to have the conversation with my fighter where we can find the finest details on how to
Right.
pick every individual part.
Right.
I'm going to get that fighter to buy in. So we're operating on the same wavelength, and then we're
Yeah.
going to go in and handle business.